All right, what's going on, everybody? It's about that time for another GmiasWorld podcast. I have a very, very special guest who I'm very, very happy that he was able to make his appearance on this show. He goes by the name DEMIC, and like I said, I'm very, very happy, that he agreed to this interview. For those of you that don't know about him, he's going to be able to tell you a little bit about himself today. But it's DEMIC. What's going on, Jersey?
Not much. What's up with you?
Nothing. I'm easy, man. I'm just excited about that album, and it was amazing to me, like the insight. You're gonna be able to tell everybody about it, but like I said, it's just your viewpoints. Like I don't even know how this came about. I just found out recently that you're into Madden and stuff like that, which is like kind of fascinating because that makes sense, for why you follow me on Twitter or whatever. But just reading your tweets and stuff like that, we're gonna get more into that and figure out what drives DEMIC. What led you to this? How do you pronounce it? Dreducation?
Yeah, it's called Dreducated.
Okay, Dreducated.
Okay. Dreducation. Dreducate, all that. Basically, I just feel like there's always been a lot of lies going on in the world, and it's like people know, but people don't feel like that other people know, so other people front. It's like what you call like a cognitive dissonance, where somebody else is telling you something that's not true, and then you believe it. So I just wanted to make sure that I spoke for all the people that wasn't getting spoken for. Because when I was growing up, this thoughts that I had, that I thought I was crazy because everybody on the news would be saying one thing, and I'd be looking at it like, nah, that's obviously this. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Because everybody else is telling you one thing, and there's nobody to speak up for the other side, you're just thinking that you're like weird, or you just don't really know. So that's what this whole thing is about. It's just about talking to all those people to let them know, like, yo, listen, you're not crazy. It's just that other people are lying to you and trying to shape the way that you think, even if it's against human nature,
Okay. So when you're saying Dreducation, are you promoting your followers to have dreads to follow, or is it just a mindset?
Oh no, it's just a mindset. I mean, I do believe the dreadlock journey of growing your hair, it humbles you a lot because there's that long period of time before your hair locks where you're looking really kind of rough to what would be societal standards.
Okay.
So it does humble you because you have to go through a process where you're not like at your beautiful, like you're just not as beautiful as society would want you to be. So and then when you go through something like that, it forces you to go line about other things. So. But not, they don't have to have dreads. Actually, some of the people that feel the way I feel, a lot of them don't really have locks. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I'm around do are locked though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, because I'm asking that because I was raised as a Rasta. I'm a Jamaican, so I was raised as a Rasta, but I never locked my hair. But my father and all the stuff like that. For the times he was around and the 12 tribe of Israel stuff and the King of Selassie and all that stuff like that. It's a different type of mindset that they grow with, and that as far as that whole thing going, because like I said, the reason that I took a liking to your unique style is because you put out certain things, and most of the time, the cognitive dissonance that you put out things that you make people have to go and research, because for the common person, they wouldn't really understand what's going on. That's what I appreciate. The unique style that you bring. So, as far as that, one thing that I really was interested in talking to you about was the whole fact of your whole take on the human race itself, and all of us being, one race. Like how you start your intro off, and the black and white war is so stupid. We can't have racism. There's only one race. I want you to touch on that. Yeah. What do you mean by that? In your intro on the road, on your marching, you were marching the Giza on that, right? On your intro.
Yeah, marching the Giza.
Okay, so what do you mean that we can't about this white and black war, that we can't have racism? There's only one race. What do you mean by that?
Well, first let me just start off by saying thank you for getting to the intro. I purposely put that in the front because a lot of the things I'm saying is like you have to have an open mind to even be able to embrace the what I'm saying lyrically on that song. So I wanted to put that first so people knew what they were gonna get for the rest of the record. So that, but basically there's only one race where all of the Homo sapien, like the word human is like a dumbed down, for lack of a better term, a dumbed down word for the word Homo sapien. So of the humanoid family. So as far as we know, there's no other humanoids on Earth except human beings, except Homo sapiens, which is us, right?
Okay.
And there's no genetic differences inside of us, like between what you would consider a black man, a white man, a Mexican. There's no genetic differences. So there's really no basis to have different races. What that comes from is different nationalities. So
okay.
Nationalities exist because of where people are born and things like that. But a Mexican person is really no different than an Ecuadorian, which is really no different than me and you when it comes down to it. So there's only one race.
Okay.
It's just the human race, right? Like.
Okay. And I see like as far as when you tweet these things, you get a lot of people that, it's always going to be people that's going to disagree with what you're saying. But I guess based on your responses, it kind of drives you when people don't, attack you with, intelligence, but they attack you with ignorance, because that's exactly what the Dreaducation is trying to fight against, to, give more knowledge to oneself. So how do you feel about the people that don't really understand what you're trying to promote? And, go ahead.
Well, I changed the way that I delivered the message because of them. Because like, what happens is people have this whole thing built up into their heads, a bunch of like mental constructs. So when you attack something that's built up in their head, that's attacking their whole world and their whole the whole like frame of mind that keeps them in like well-being. So because of cognitive dissonance, like they've already dealt with things that they know are wrong and have convinced themselves that it's right. So when you attack that, now they have to go back to like, it's like you're like destroying the World Trade Center. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I started doing was, instead of telling people things that I thought they should look into, I would just ask a question. So instead of saying something like instead of saying there's only one race, I would just say, isn't there only one race? So that I'll leave it up to them to answer it, and for them to go research it on their own. Okay. It's a little bit less aggressive when you just ask the question and leave it out there.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And then also, I saw some of the tweets that you put out yesterday. You just put out like single words, which is also pretty unique. Like alchemy, things like that. Because I guess people don't realize that a lot of the, the Western medicine came from, basisism of what they started, of all the mythical type of medicines and stuff like that. What drives you to put this stuff out? Is there a sole goal that you have to, are you trying to just bring awareness? Like what drives Jersey DEMIC?
Well, I've always been creative, and even before I rapped, I used to draw. Like, so I'm just like a sharer. So when I learn something, especially something that I didn't know like 10 years ago, and I wish I would have known 10 years ago, I feel it's my duty to reach back to those people that are 10 years back, or even people my age, but especially those people that the knowledge could help them before they get to the point in their life that I'm at now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I just feel like I really have to share something once I learn it, and I try not to share it in a way that's definitive because I'm still learning myself. I always say life is a journey, not a destination. So there's no one point to get to. It's a journey. So you keep going, you keep learning, and it's not going to be perfect. And it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you keep learning. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I just want to share things with people because of that.
Okay, and you specifically talk about a lot of the things that you do, regularly. Your smoothies, you've gone vegan and stuff like that. I wanted to talk about that as far as in America, the diet system. Everybody is always with the fast food, the coffee, the whatever it is. I want to know what was your basis of choosing to go vegan?
When I was from born, from like young, I was I was born in Dominica, by the way. I was in the Eastern Caribbean.
Okay.
But yeah, from young, I just always felt like you know, it kind of was weird to eat something that was kind of living, breathing, and to not respect that life the way you're told to respect. So like the average person eats dead animals every single day, all day long, right?
Yeah.
Except but so you literally killing things every day, but then they tell you that it's wrong to kill, you know, and then you have the situation where you could eat a cow, but you can't eat a dog, and then to me it's all the same. So I just was that was always a thought in my head that I thought I was just crazy, and then I just started learning more about being vegan. I actually began going vegan because I was learning about Monsanto and all the modified foods.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The crops. So first I started eating non-GMO food, and most of the places that had non-GMO food was vegan. So then I said, oh, let me look into this vegan thing. And I really don't like to do things that puts a label on it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a vegan because then I have to do vegan things, you know what I'm saying? So I really try to stay away from those type of labels. But for the people that are like not paying attention, it's just easier to say I'm a vegan, and then you already know I don't have to go through like a 3-hour explanation with every single person I meet out on the street as to why I don't eat meat or things like that. You know what I'm saying?
And when you say you're vegan, do you eat fish or you don't eat anything?
No, vegan. You don't eat anything that comes from an animal. You don't even use anything that comes from an animal. So anything that participates in the killing of a species or anything, you don't like take part in it. So we don't even eat any like cheese or cow cheese, like anything that's dairy or cow milk or anything like that. So we'll eat like we'll drink almond milk or rice milk and things like that in place of the cow milk, which is really much more healthy. Because my daughter used to cough a lot, so I took her off the cow milk because we were giving her cow milk from she was born.
Okay.
She's about to be 5 now. She's actually on my album cover, but she used to cough a lot, and through research, what I found is that the cow milk creates a lot of mucus in your chest, a lot of mucus in your body.
Yeah.
So when I took her off the cow milk for over the past year or two, that coughing is going away.
Okay,
so
yeah.
That goes to anybody who out there who has a child and the child coughs a lot, because I've seen that a lot of people have that problem. I would try taking them off the dairy first, because dairy creates that mucus in your system.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what like I said, me being from Jamaica and stuff like that, it's a regular, even with the Rastas, like they don't really eat a lot of the, as far as the milk and stuff like that, because I only drink the almond milk and things like that too. But as far as the oxtail and curry goat and cow foot, you can't stop a Rasta from eating that stuff. So yeah, so I can't say for me personally, but as far as everything else, I definitely understand. But the message itself in the album is very, very clear that you have that you're just trying to preach self-knowledge and try to attain more out of what life is, because like you said, it's a journey. You got to read the signs. So based on what inspired you to put this album out, because you definitely seem like you've attained a lot of knowledge in a short period of time, and you say key things like you're looking for the the nose of the Sphinx, and a lot of people don't even understand that it's theories of how the Sphinx nose was removed and has to do with Napoleon and other it's so many other things that you're saying, but you just come off to the average person as like a guy with locks. So what do you what do you have to say? Like when you speak that knowledge, it has to be shocking. And I'm pretty sure that on a daily basis you get a lot of wow factor, like this guy shouldn't be talking like that. This this man of color shouldn't be talking like that. What was the drive to make you go further now to actually get the word out there in this format in your album that's going to be released on Tuesday, August 27th?
Well, I mean, with everything about that is like I just want to make sure I get the message to the same people that I thought needed help, like to give people an option. People always complain about the music not being like a certain way, so you just give people. If somebody else was doing this, I wouldn't even do it. I probably would just support what they're doing. since I didn't see anybody else really doing it in the forefront, I just felt like it needed to be done, and I wanted to cement my place in the world as this is what I do for the world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I just I really like to learn things. And when I say things about the nose of the Sphinx, I like saying things like that to see who else in the room really has that type of knowledge. You know, like I'll drop something like that on the record, and it'll go over the majority of the people's head.
Okay.
And somebody like you'll get it, and then you know that we know a little something about what's going on in history for real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I always tell people, I always say, and my man actually has a thing for this, but I always say that Black history ended when slavery began. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, there was a lot that we did before the slaves took place over here in the Western Hemisphere. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But people always start there. That's why on one of the records, I say, I like a girl with knowledge, and she know about Rosa Parks, but she rather talk about Nefertiti. So I take it upon myself to really not talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X too much, even though I respect what they did. I feel like it's more important to talk about like a Mansa Musa, because people don't know Mansa Musa.
Okay.
The average person who claims to be like a historian on black culture and all that, and they don't really know about some of the greatest black people in history. They're stuck in Martin Luther and Malcolm X, and it's like I feel like you're letting these other people pick your hero for you. Like, they chose that hero for you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
In order to keep you docile. That's how I always saw it. That's just how I always saw that.
So you probably hold the same type of thoughts as far as like Nefertiti and things like that. The way that the whole system is right now in the U.S. For instance, you get Martin Luther King Day off because he was nonviolent, but Malcolm X, nobody even knows when his birthday is on the average person. So you're saying that they decide. You're saying that society decides what you're gonna. They basically choose your hero for you.
Yeah.
Because for most people, that's actually a great point that you bring up, because that's what I was gonna ask you about. When you say that people are given, the majority of the people, like they always say the majority of the U.S. is sheep because they just follow what everybody else is doing. So when you say that, and people wonder now, okay, we have Martin Luther King Day off, but they never even give the day on his actual birthday.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And another thing. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Another thing that people have to realize too is like Martin Luther King, what he did was important, but he was only able to speak to them like because he was the person that was somebody that you could talk to, because he was so he was doing it in such a passive way. But if all the other murders and killings and craziness wasn't going on, there would have been no discussion between the American government and Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
So everything was a part of bringing things to where it is now. To bringing civil rights about. It wasn't just Martin Luther King said be peaceful. No, he's saying be peaceful. So when everybody's in the streets rioting and shooting and doing all these other things and getting people up, the government's looking at it like, listen, we can't go in there. Yeah. Who can we talk to over there? Well, this guy Martin Luther, he's kind of peaceful. Let's go talk to him, and then he'll relay that message back to everybody else. Yeah.
People used to be shocked, because even me as a young man, I used to always say, once I did the research into it, that there would have been no Martin Luther King without a Malcolm X. There would have been, you know what I'm saying? That you need that type of. If you just sit back and get beat on, people are going to use you as a floor mat, and that's like regular knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to have mercy on the guy that just lays down and don't get up. But so that's actually an interesting thing that you just said about, so that they can understand. So that you're bringing most of the stuff that you've been attaining throughout your journey just to the forefront to make people understand that there's a lot more that the average person just doesn't know about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, and I mean, and you wouldn't know about it if you like ever just like really sat and critically had a critical thinking session about these things. And speaking of critical thinking, that's why I'm really not a fan of these games like Candy Crush and all these little extra games that take up and dominate your free time. Because what happens is throughout the day, I feel like you need a moment alone with your thoughts. Maybe not too much time, but you need to know. You need to, at the end of the day, separate what is your thoughts and what thoughts were introduced to you by outside factors. You know, what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are the marketing plans of somebody who sat down in the board meeting.
Okay.
And if you don't do that and you never get the time to catch up and you never play your mind and just think, because you're always like nose down in the iPhone with the playing Candy Crush or playing, I don't know, any one of these games. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just pick on Candy Crush. That's just the one I see the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like everybody should really, and anybody who's listening should really take it upon themselves to really sit down for a moment of the day, or even a moment of the week at first. You know, it's a journey, not a destination. So you start where you can, and you just sit back and just listen to yourself. You know, so you know who you are instead of knowing what's just been implanted to you all week long. You know, it's advertising going on all day. You're getting hit with ads, bombarding people with ads and marketing. I mean, I do marketing myself, so at the end of the day, like I know that the average person has no idea how contrived these things are. So you feel like you want these Jordans, but really you wanting those Jordans is just somebody's plan being manifested through you. But you don't even know that because you never sat back to look at what's actually going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so and it's funny that you're saying Candy Crush because my wife can't stop playing it. So so she's gonna be kind of mad after she listens to this, but that's good. I like that you're saying it and not me. I don't have to deal with the slotness that's gonna go on later. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. But it's basically moderation. Everything in moderation, I guess. I don't know how you want to exactly put it because most people that's already addicted, because Candy Crush is like the number one thing, on the iPhone right now that everybody's addicted to. So are you saying moderation? Or are you just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like how are you assessing the whole situation in regards to how to, use your time during the day and what should people be? What's your recommendation on somebody that's lacking, that believes that they're not lacking natural knowledge and just taking what everybody's putting out there for them with this advertising?
Oh, I just preach that everything's a journey and there's no perfect way. You know, if you can't, because some people are really addicted to these things, they don't even know it. Because when you repeat an action over and over, it's going to create some type of chemical synapses in your brain that's going to keep you wanting to do these things that you've been doing over and over, because that's how your brain works, to make it easy for you to do. So you're actually learning to go play Candy Crush every single day. So now you're like addicted to it. You know?
Okay.
But people, I mean, if you want to play Candy Crush, that's cool. I'm to a point where I don't do that. I don't even have a phone that I walk with. I don't even walk with a phone. So that when I go to the train station, to the subway, I don't have it in my hand because I was addicted to it. You know?
Okay.
And I've been moving like that for the past 6 months.
Oh, okay. So I understand exactly what you're saying. So as far and what that go, and I wanted to touch real quickly on the natural thing, as far as the females and the women of color go. When you say that they, in your album, you're saying that they're using these perms and these chemicals to mimic their, what is it? Their idols. You say in one of them.
Like to mimic the masters, the Enjoy the Show song. Because basically people, I feel like you should be comfortable with what's going out of your head. Now, I'm not really talking about the girls who wear the weaves and the wigs, and they do it because they wanna try something different, look a different way. But there are girls that never ever go to their natural hair because they feel ugly in it. So it's like you'll see a girl that just maybe took her weave out, and she's going from the front door to the car, and she's running to the car with her hand on her head like it's raining outside. Because she's so embarrassed by her own hair that's growing out of her own skull, you know?
Okay.
They don't really know. And I said this the other day on Twitter. I said, there's a solution to most problems, but the solution for you not liking your hair is not a perm. That solution is therapy, because it really goes deeper. And they get mad at me when I say this, but it really goes deeper than just thinking that because you have a perm, it's like having a poodle, right? If you have a poodle, that poodle's hair is the way it is. It's curly. It's a little thick. But you don't want to change a poodle because that's what makes the poodle beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
people have this, the women, and you know, back in the day, and still now today, but not as much. But back in the day, it used to be a lot of men that perm their hair. I know you remember that scene from Malcolm X.
Yeah.
When he tried to perm his hair, had to dunk his head in the toilet.
Yeah.
But men have pretty much gotten away from that. But the women are still like full force into that whole lifestyle. And I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, if you're doing it because you're like some type of fashion or hairstylist that wants to try outrageous things, you know?
Yeah.
But if you have a problem with what's going on in your head, that's more what I'm talking about.
Okay, and is that based on the fact that you feel that, you know, most women of color just don't are kind of seeing and like kind of bred with what society provides to not love themselves enough to present what, you know, what naturally is theirs? Is that your concept behind it? Like what is it?
Yeah, I believe it's conditioning, and I'm not even saying that it's conditioned. It's purposely done, right? If you're white, you're gonna make a white dog, right? If you're Indian, you're gonna see a bunch of Indian dogs. So most of the people that own these companies up here that have the reach to get these dolls out, these movies out, these TV shows out, they're just casting their own image, just like it says in King James Version of the Bible, that anything that's created, God's going to create it in his image, and if you're the God of something, meaning if you're the creator, you're going to make it in your image. So when I see white people doing things in their image, I have no problem with it because, you know, that's what they're used to. You know, that's what they've grown around. But the thing is like they pretty much are controlling what's seeking out into the mainstream.
Okay.
So when you go into, and this happened with my daughter, because, you know, I took her to, we was at Times Square the other day, we went into the Toys R Us, and I'm looking at all the dolls, and all the dolls is like Barbie with like straight hair, you know what I'm saying? Her hair is nothing like that. So growing up, she's going to think like, okay, well, this is what beautiful is. Let me dress up to look like what I've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? One day she was crying because I wouldn't let her wear a dress outside. And it's not that I wouldn't let her, like, I'm not against it, but it just wasn't, it was like raining or something, so I'm like, put some pants on, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, so she's crying, I'm like, why are you crying? And she's like, because I'm not beautiful today. I'm like, what do you mean you're not beautiful? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Then I started to realize that she equates her definition of beauty is wearing a dress, you know?
Okay, so yes, okay.
Kids understand things.
Okay, yeah, so you're just preaching more of a stronger mindset overall.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. And it's funny that you said it about the dolls because right now I do a lot of charities with wish.org, you know, kids fighting life-threatening diseases, you know, cancer, stuff like that, give kids the world. And one thing that I found when I first started getting involved with them, a lot of these companies didn't make any dolls with no hair, like bald head while they go to chemo. And that caused a lot of the kids that, you know, that we see when we go and do these things, they were kind of sad about it. And I believe the Brats who put out these ghetto ridiculous dolls were the first company to actually put out dolls with bald heads to show that even while you're fighting this chemo, you can be beautiful as well. Because it's like you said, if the mainstream doesn't support what the youth sees, they're gonna strive to be what they put out there. So that makes logical sense. That definitely makes logical sense what you're saying. Okay, all right. So no, I definitely, like I said, I just wanted to make sure that, you know, my listeners were able to put a voice with what you put out there on Twitter, and that you had the mindset behind it. And it's definitely you. It definitely is Jersey DEMIC. You definitely are who you say you are on your Twitter feed to all those followers. But it is going to be a journey, like you say in the album. And by the way, like I listened to the album twice. It's definitely, I don't like in other podcasts. I already told, you know, my viewers that, you know, it's very hard for me to listen to a lot of albums straight through, even some of the great ones. But I had no problem listening to yours because it was just after the intro, you kind of want to see the next piece of knowledge that you're going to drop. And it's actually, it's enticing to have that type of formula. So, congrats with everything that's going on with that. Before we finish up, I know it's going to be a success. And when I say success, I'm not saying, success as far as the glory that everybody thinks that it has to be in order for you to attain the success. It's going to be success because I know you're going to reach a lot of people that's going to actually research Nefertiti, try to figure out what happened with the Sphinx and everything like that. Want to know, that Giza is in, where it is. They're going to want to figure out a lot of these things, and you're going to spark something in their heads that they don't get every day, that they don't see every day, and that's shunned. So, before we finish out, I just wanted to say congrats to you about just being unique, as far as the way you bring your stuff out. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? Because I know I told you that we were going to probably do about a half, and you've given them more than enough, and I'm pretty sure they're going to request you back on in another day to take your insight on other things, because I'm syndicated in so many other countries, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of crazy shit going on in a little bit.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, because they're gonna want to know who you are, and especially the people that in South Africa that download my podcast. They're gonna want to know what you mean about a lot of the girls. They perm their hair because of different things. I don't, sometimes a lot of the excuses are, well, not excuses, but the reasoning behind it is because it's too nappy, it's too rough to deal with. But my wife is natural, and her hair, when she was younger, she did have extensions and all of the stuff in there. But, through knowledge and understanding the way the hair grows, she washes her hair with apple cider vinegar, with the real stuff, the mother of vinegar. Her hair is like unbelievably long right now. And, to the point where she never thought she could attain it, because she was just shown on this, Dark and Lovely that, you got a permit and all this other stuff like that. But that's what they put out. And like you said, it's from young, because they instill it in you. So it's kind of hard, to turn away from it when you get older, and that's all you know. So, your insight to these things are very, very, intriguing. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's going to be a lot of feedback from it. But I want to give you this time right now, to anything else you got coming up, other than, I know your album is dropping on the release date of Madden. And based on your other, I saw that you had a reason behind that, which is cool. Is there anything else you're going to be doing that you want to let people know? As far as what's going on, your plans coming up for, like, are you gonna be doing anything for the album party? What's going on? Where can they find you if they have something they want to say to you? Anything like that?
Oh yeah, well, they can always go to jersey.demic.com. That's the Demic with a C, not a K. And then with the album release, we're gonna be giving out some stuff. It's gonna be on Friday, August 30th. But I just want to say this, and I say this in my shows too. Even if you go through this whole podcast and you don't remember who I am, just remember the words, Monsanto, GMO, and go look that up for yourself, because that affects you. And as far as everything else, I just want everybody to know that there's two ways to get my album, because it's not really about money. I wanted to do more, but because of the way that everything was placed in the budget, I had to charge for the physical, because the physical is actually money coming out of my pocket. So to get the physical copy, it comes preloaded on a free MP3 player that has the music, 12 songs, the videos. I'm actually gonna put this podcast on there, the ebook, and things like things of that nature. Now you could get a digital version of the album if you donate to any charity of your choice. I don't want to control it. Whatever you care about. If you have somebody pass away from cancer, you donate to the American Cancer Society, and then you come back, you show me that proof, and I'll send you a digital copy of the album. And I feel like that was the best way to do it. I wanted to give out physical copies for the charity donations, but I just couldn't afford it. To keep it real, I always tell people exactly what it is, so they don't have to wonder. But that's the best way to be, and that's the way to be appreciated. And like I said, when I release the podcast, because I'm gonna have it, it's gonna be simultaneous, because people have been requesting that it's on YouTube and my website. But it'll be on the website first, and then in my YouTube description, I'll put everything whatever information that I have from your Twitter page, everything that you have listed everywhere, all your website, all your information, so that it's easier, for these people to contact you if they have questions about, going vegan, your take on the race situation, whatever it is, because you definitely come with a unique style the way you bring it. And I think you have the potential to make it a mainstream type of thinking, which is going to be kind of bad for you, because they don't want that. But
at the same time, you speak at the risk of sounding crazy. You're gonna talk regardless, like you say on your album. So I guess that's something you're gonna have to deal with.
I'm ready for it.
All right, so yeah, like I said, man, I want to thank you. Go ahead.
I'd much rather be a martyr for something than even be here, because I believe that if you die for something, you'll even be a greater influence to your child to keep them on the straight and narrow than even if you're here. Yeah. With that type of mindset, that's what drove a lot of change. So yeah, I get, Monsanto, all this stuff that's going on, and the GMOs. It's a really big deal, and people don't even understand. It's a lot of people that still don't know what GMO is, and they're taking it in every day. And like I said, I do a lot of research as well, and try to just always know what you're taking in your body, and that's the biggest thing about it. So other than that, that's pretty much the way it goes. And hold up, I think is this thing about to stop? Okay, I thought. Okay, hold on. I thought something was gonna happen with this thing. Yeah, because these Apple computers are kind of crazy too. Apple's kind of wild too. But yeah. Sometimes we just start doing crazy stuff. But yeah, like I said, I put it all out there. I don't do no editing, so everything that we did this whole time is gonna be there. But yeah, I that's what really made me try to say, like, yo, this guy, I got to talk to this guy when you started writing those things like that, because I was actually doing those researches at the times that you were tweeting it, and nobody else was talking about it. Like it was like they started to manipulate the crops, the regular soybeans. You can't even fucking buy soy milk anymore because it's tough. You know what I'm saying? And one of my sisters have eczema, and she used to, like, that's what the doctors recommended for the dermatologist. And then I'm reading about this GMO, and I'm like, you can't have soy, you got to have almond. And now she's doing a lot better. She's doing a lot better with the almond milk. And this is recent for me though, because I'm not gonna front with any of my listeners either. I was drinking I was drinking cow milk up until maybe 3 months ago, until I realized that So but at some point, like you said, at some point you're gonna have to figure out what you want to do, and with research you make the change. It's not about, what I'm saying, as long as you're willing to do that. That's the biggest key about it. So I just want to say too, a lot of people feel like some type of embarrassment when they just first start switching over to things, because people want to tell you, oh, that's not you. But it's 3 months now that you switch off combo, but at some point it's going to be 10 years. At some point it's going to be 15 years, and that's what we strive for. It's not even about like for anybody else. Even if somebody wants to go vegan or vegetarian or whatever, don't worry. Like, okay, you've been doing it for 2 months, 4 months. At some point in your life, it's going to be you've been doing it for 35 years, God willing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definite. Yeah, that's actually a better way to look at it. I never even looked at it like that. That's pretty good. So, like I said, I know you got things you got to do. Your album is coming out. The early release of Madden is out. There's a lot of things going on. So I'm gonna let you go and do you. But like I said, from everybody here at GmiasWorld, I want to thank Jersey DEMIC for coming out. And like I said, we'll get some feedback from it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we could touch base after you see how everything goes with your album and whatever. And see if we could go further with it, because I definitely support the movement that you're trying to accomplish, as far as just the mindset and thinking outside the box, because that's what my intentions were when I started GmiasWorld. So once again, from everybody here, I want to thank you for coming out and doing this interview, and nothing but the best, man, because like I said, I don't believe in luck, but like I said, when it comes from my heart, I really believe that you're gonna have the success that you need, and within yourself, not what everybody else thinks that success is from this album. So definitely all the best with that and everything else that's going on with you and what you plan to do, man. And thank you very much for joining me for this interview.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. Shout out to everybody who's listening. Shout out to the whole GmiasWorld.
All right, thanks a lot, man. All right, so I'll touch base with you guys again probably later on in the week. Until next time, as always, one love.